And I guess there's not a great rush. I don't know what that felony case is about.
Yeah, I don't know why I'd be doing that. Court does call the case People versus Robert Jones.
Conrad Stiller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Jones, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Robert Jones. All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jones is being held on another case where the pretrial in circuit court is set for June 20th. There is a potential offer in this matter that Mr. Jones would like to take advantage of. However, that requires him to have an alcohol assessment. He was to be screened by Dawn Farm, and that is still scheduled to happen because he is likely to be released to inpatient there. All that to say, we were hopeful that we could use the Dawn Farm screening as the alcohol assessment in this case. However, that has not occurred yet. So we are respectfully requesting the court to order Mr. Jones to have an in-jail alcohol assessment so that we can get the ball rolling on that. I understand.
Where's he going to be assessed? I'm not going to order that.
Through Von Schwartz in jail would be our request.
But I thought he was going to have the Dawn Farms assessment.
That is correct, Your Honor, but to my understanding, that may not occur for a month or two because there is a considerable backlog.
Mr. Siller.
Well, this is all new to me, so it's kind of, I'm unsure, if he's going to be in custody on the felony anyway, and I guess there's not a great rush. I don't know what that felony case is about.
Yeah, I don't know why I'd be doing that.
Right.
He would like to take advantage of the offer potential that requires an assessment. We were hopeful to use the Dawn Farm assessment. However, that may not occur for a couple.
Well, I'm not ordering an assessment pre-sentence, and I don't do that.
Okay, Your Honor, understood. We then would respectfully request a very brief adjournment.
Adjournment June 26, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continues. Call the case of the People versus DeAndre Jemison.
David, I will see you bring on behalf of the defendant. Your Honor, I need to speak to my client for 1 second. Your Honor, I have had an opportunity to discuss the matter with Ms. Morosa and also with my client. My client is going to tender a plea of no contest at the present time. I've got a copy of the police report, Your Honor. It's not very long.
Well, we do that. The complaint needs to be amended. And I'll ask the question this way, sir. Mr. Jemison, for the purposes of the complaint and in accord with SOS records, do you identify as male?
Yes.
Any objection to amending the complaint?
No, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
There is no agreement, Your Honor. He's going to be pleading no contest as charged. I would indicate, Your Honor, that the claim in this case is $170, but my client is going to be in custody. He has other matters pending, so I don't know he's going to be able to make the restitution, but we can discuss that at the time of sentencing.
Sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead no contest to the charge of embezzlement by an agent or trustee less than $200. Is that your understanding?
That's sure.
That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court cost. The fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes.
All right, let me explain 2 things about it to make sure that you understand. First thing you need to understand about a no contest plea is it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
That's right.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Basis for the no contest plea?
Civil liability, Your Honor.
Right. So, sir, understanding all of that to the charge of embezzlement less than $200, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind. He hasn't signed any advice, right?
It's not.
All right. Because you're not having a trial, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you, and you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole? Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record, which is nothing, to get you to plead to this charge?
No, yeah.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, yeah.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and of your own free will.
Yes.
All right. The court has been provided 2 sheets of, it's report for their case number. I think it's 23-2018. Any objections to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and a report. Sentencing in this matter will be July.
It's gonna be June 25th.
Excuse me, June 25th. I knew. 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Your Honor, he is going to be in custody. If that could be notation on he's not being held only on this case, so he's going to be in custody.
Yeah, that's why we gave him the June date.
I know, I just make sure the probation knows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, the people of Pittsfield Township versus, if I'm getting this right, Sanat Philo.
Cái người ở thành phố Pittsfield và Sunil Pillow.
Conrad Siller for Pittsfield Township.
It would be Conrad Siller for Pittsfield Township, better interpreter.
Conrad Fuller for the Pitt House.
And good morning, Your Honor. Spencer Clayton appearing on behalf of the defendant.
That would be Spencer Clayton on behalf of the defendant.
Đó là người Spencer là sẽ người đại diện cho cái người bị cáo ạ.
As to the arraignment, you waive formal reading, stand mute.
Correct, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Madam Interpreter, if you could say that.
Raymond sẽ người là đứng vẫn đứng đó nhưng mà im lặng ạ.
The defendant standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea.
Cái người bị cáo có nhận tội là có tội hay không ạ?
We have reached an agreement, Your Honor.
Okay.
Defense counsel will admit responsibility to, on behalf of his client, to failure to stop within an assured clear distance.
I apologize. Can you repeat that? You have reached the agreement on the client to ensure.
They have reached an agreement. The defendant's attorney will be pleading responsible on her behalf to the civil infraction of failure to stop an assured clear distance.
Dạ thì cái người mà luật sư chịu trách nhiệm cho bị cáo thì sẽ thay mặt bị cáo nhận tội là mình đã thất bại.
I do admit responsibility on her behalf, Your Honor.
Và ông ta nói là tôi chấp nhận cái sự chịu trách nhiệm cho cái sự mà mình không có thành làm được, chịu trách nhiệm.
Court will accept that admission of responsible to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed.
Và cái tòa sẽ chấp nhận cái sự chịu trách nhiệm đó của bị cáo và cái tòa thứ hai sẽ được ngừng.
Fines and cost of $120. When can that be paid?
Và cái tiền lệ $120 bị trả là chừng nào có thể trả tiền đó được ạ?
Dạ, bây giờ cũng được ạ.
I can pay it now.
Okay, pay it today.
Dạ, vậy trả ngày hôm nay nhá.
Dạ.
Yes.
If you know how to use a QR code on the screen, ma'am, that will take you to the site to make the payment later this afternoon.
Nếu mà chị biết cái cách dùng cho cái mật mã QR code trong cái màn hình này chị có thể dùng cái QR code đó để mà họ dẫn chị tới một cái trang mạng để mà được trả tiền qua bên đó.
Maybe not. Okay. Thank you.
Cảm ơn ạ.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Do appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for using our services. You all take care.
Court calls the case, People versus Amari McGee.
Morgan Barroso on behalf of people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. McGee, who is approaching.
Good morning. Your name?
Amari McGee.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. As to the pretrial, there has been an offer in this matter to which my client will be accepting today, pleading to an added count 2 of operating intoxicated.
Do we know why? Was it that one? Oh, it's that one. We're good though.
Need core security to come.
They're coming. Okay. All right, we can go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry about that. There is a resolution in this matter to which Ms. McGee will be pleading to an added count 2 of operating while intoxicated, and in exchange, count 1, operating with a high BAC, will be dismissed.
That is correct, Judge.
May I have her sworn?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Amara McGee.
All right, you can put your hand down. Mr. Gee, it's this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail. Bless you. 93 days in jail, up to a $500 fine plus court costs. The court could also order community service or any rehabilitative services the court deems necessary. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Understanding all that, still wish to plead guilty? And to that charge, how do you plead? Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind. Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak to your trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. Are you on probation or parole?
Probation. Probation.
Are you on probation? All right. I need to let you know that your entry of a plea in this case could be a violation of that probation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. If it is considered a violation of your probation, that other court could sentence you to the maximum allowable under that charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, you still wish to plead to this charge? Yes? All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily? Of your own free will? Yes? All right. And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense? On November 3rd, 2023, at the location of 4890 Washtenaw Avenue, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, I was sitting in a passenger seat while I was running. Driver's seat while I was running.
You were in the driver's seat. The vehicle was
Yes.
operational. It was running.
Yes.
All right. Did the police arrive
Yes, around 1 a.m.
around 1 a.m.? How long had you been there?
for about 6 hours.
With the vehicle running?
Yes.
All right. What happened when you came into contact with the police?
They woke me up. They was banging on the window, checking on me. They seen that I had a drink in my car, and
They took you out of the car and they ultimately arrested you, is that
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Okay. Were you taken down to the police station or the hospital or both?
To the police station.
Okay, were you given a data master breathalyzer
Oh,
test?
no, I
or were
was
you-
taking both, actually.
You were taken to both,
Yeah.
okay, and there was a blood draw?
Yes.
All right. And were the results of that blood draw 0.183?
Oh, yeah.
The defense would still stipulate to those results, Your Honor.
All right. And you have no reason to dispute those test results, do you, ma'am?
No.
All right. And just so that we're clear, at some point, you drove that vehicle to that location. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to Von Swartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be
June 25th at 9 a.m.
June 25th, 2024, 9 a.m. Or as your invite indicates.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I briefly address bond?
Briefly,
Thank you, Your Honor. As Your Honor is aware, this court remanded Ms. McGee on May 15th, 3 weeks ago to the day for a bond violation. At this time, we are respectfully requesting that the court.
I'm not going to change your bond until at least I see an assessment, if that's what you're asking.
That is what our request would be, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, you can go ahead with your argument, but I'm letting you know where I stand.
Understand, Your Honor. I'll keep it extremely brief. We are requesting that the court release her today on a PR bond with a scram tether. She is a single mother of 2 children, ages 4 and 8, and they do get out of school for the summer tomorrow. She has consistently come to court. She came to court on May 15th, knowing there was a warrant, and stayed for 3 hours, knowing that she would be taken into custody when her case was called. She has entered a plea in this matter. She wants to resolve this case, and we are asking that you release her today on a scram tether pending sentencing. Or in the,
Go ahead.
or in the alternate, once her alcohol assessment is completed, that she gets on a PR with the scram.
Once I see I'm not doing anything till I see the assessment because of what's happened. So motion for bond reduction is denied. I don't need a response. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Leonard Gusweiler.
Morgan Barroso on behalf of people.
Oh, there it is. Hello, sir.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Mr. Gusweiler. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Leonard Gustweiler.
What are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution to this matter to which Mr. Gusweiler will be pleading no contest under a prosecutor's deferred.
Right. Has he signed it in advice of rights?
He has not signed his advice of rights form, Your Honor. And Your Honor, just for the record, there is $955.
That's what I hit from that. And this is under a prosecutor's deferred.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
I do.
State your name.
Leonard Gustweiler.
All right. Mr. Gusweiler, it's this court's understanding. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah,
Okay. It's this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge, or pleading no contest to the charge of embezzlement by an agent or trustee, $200 to $1,000. Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
All right. That is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine, up to a $2,000 fine plus court cost. The fine could be increased at 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
I do.
All right. 2 things about it that I need you to make sure that you understand is it first means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
I do.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
I do.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea, counsel?
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, to the charge of embezzlement by an agent or trustee, 200 to 1,000, how do you plead?
Okay. No contest.
All right. Now you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form today. Do you have any questions regarding any of those rights?
I do not.
All right. Please look at paragraph 5 and you'll see a copy on the podium there. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
I do. I do. What? That's a bit. Still don't understand it. Yeah.
He's asking, understand the rights on the form that you're giving up your right to a trial and to call witnesses against you.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
All right. You understand?
Out here.
Okay, it's okay. You're giving up, you understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, I do.
All right. Are you on probation or parole?
Your Honor, if I may, he was
Yeah.
not on probation at the time of this offense, but he was placed on probation about a month ago.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
No,
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
no.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
I am.
All right. Counsel, the court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 24-1431. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be July 10th, 2024, 9 a.m. Or as your invite indicates. Will continue. Court calls case People versus, is it Ina Johnson?
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Johnson, who is approaching.
Your name?
Ayana Johnson.
Ina Johnson. I messed it up. All right. What are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which Ms. Johnson will be pleading to count 2, and in exchange, count 1 will be dismissed.
That is correct, John.
She's pleading guilty to count 2.
Correct, Your Honor. Yes.
Has she signed an advice of rights?
Do not believe she has, Your Honor.
Ma'am, did you want time to review that more?
No, I already know what I'm doing. I just didn't know I was signing.
Okay. May I have the defendant sworn?
You swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
State your name.
Ayana Johnson.
It is this court's understanding that you are going to be, it's this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating a motor vehicle by a minor with any blood alcohol content.
Correct.
All right. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 360 hours of community service, fine plus court costs, or fine of up to $250 plus court costs. The court could also order rehabilitative programs as the court deems necessary. Could order you to also reimburse for any police services or emergency governmental services. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
That what I just signed? Yeah.
Any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. Are you on probation or parole?
Not. No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's see. Are you under the jurisdiction of any other court for any other offense?
No.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead to this charge other than what's been stated here today on the record? Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will? And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense, ma'am?
Yes.
October 16th, 2023, at the location of West Michigan near Munger Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
All right. Prior to operating that motor vehicle, did you consume intoxicating liquor?
Yes.
What'd you have and how much?
2 shots of tequila.
Okay. Were you stopped by the police?
No.
Did you come into contact with the police?
No, I was in an accident.
Okay, there was an accident. All right. What happened with regard to the accident?
I believe I ran the stop sign.
Okay. And you struck another vehicle or another vehicle struck you?
Well, in my opinion, I would say another vehicle struck me.
Okay, but you ran the stop sign.
Yes.
All right. Had you also prior to that time ingested marijuana?
Yes.
All right. Did the police arrive or emergency services arrive?
Yep.
Okay. Were you ultimately arrested or were you taken right to the hospital?
I went to the hospital.
Okay. And did they do a blood draw?
Yep.
Okay. And did the blood draw indicate that your blood alcohol content was 0.053 and that there was THC in your blood?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any reason to dispute those test results?
No.
All right. And on that date and at that time, how old were you?
19.
And what's your date of birth?
April 9th, 2004.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to accept this defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense is satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to Von Swartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be July 10th, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Bond will continue with its conditions.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. That's called the case, People versus Asia Kearney.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Kearney, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, ma'am.
Asia Kearney.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which Ms. Kearney will be pleading guilty under HIDA.
Signed a vice rights form? No.
I do not believe so. Not today, Your Honor. Or not yet today. Apologize. Thank you so much.
solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Asia Kearney.
All right, ma'am, it says court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of retail fraud in the third degree.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is a misdemeanor. It is punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $500 fine plus court cost. Fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you signed an advice of rights form today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Look at paragraph 5. Get your copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
of your own free will
Yes, sir.
and because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Sir.
Between the dates of December 27th, 2023 and January 14th, 2024, at the location of 7,000 East Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, what'd you do at the Walmart store that makes you think that you're guilty?
So the price tags on the merchandise, I was switching them in order to get a lower price at the checkout.
Okay, so you switched higher price merchandise with a lower price tag.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you knew that you were doing that?
Yes, sir.
All right. When you did this, the store was open to the public at the time?
Yes, sir.
You didn't have anybody's permission to do that, did you?
No, Your Honor.
And these items that you switched the price tags on, these were items that were offered for sale by Walmart?
Yes, sir.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and consideration of HIDA. Sentencing in this matter will be July 10th, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
$19.81 restitution.
1981? Good year.
That is our understanding, Your Honor.
All right.
I apologize, Your Honor. May I address a brief bond condition very briefly when appropriate?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Kearney is requesting permission to travel to LA, California between the 29th of this month to July 2nd. It was July 2nd. And she are requesting permission for her to travel there. Her birthday is actually the 18th of this month. And so she had as a surprise birthday trip planned with her sister and was requesting permission
Hold on a
to stay
second.
for that.
She's going to LA. It's your birthday,
Yes, sir.
but then it's a surprise.
Yeah, it's a surprise trip. Yeah, I got surprised with it. Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, it's a surprise trip, but you already got the surprise.
Yeah, because they had to let me know, I'm going out of country.
You gonna do it, California?
California. I don't know, I never been. I'll let you know, Judge, when I come back.
Oh, you don't want to let me know what you did in LA, all right? I don't want to. I'm not gonna want to hear it. It's like when my daughter went out there. I don't want to know. All right. What are the dates of your travel?
It's June 29th through the July 2nd. Yep.
June 29th through July 2nd.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So you come back on the 2nd. All right. I'll indicate that the friend may travel to LA. June 29th through July 2nd, inclusive. You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Howard Thomas.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Thomas. Can Mr. Thomas stay seated, Your Honor?
Oh, absolutely.
Mr. Thomas, can you state your name?
Howard Thomas.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, we're requesting an adjournment and for the pretrial. I will say to the court and Mr. Thomas, Mr. Thomas wanted me to address bond. I want to get some more information from him in the jail before doing so, and I'll submit something written to the court and to Mr. Siller with more information about Mr. Thomas's situation.
All right, very good. I'll adjourn the matter June 26, 2024 at 9 a.m. I'll await a written motion if it's going to come forward.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Court does call the case of People versus Kenneth Hoffman.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
Who's counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. Spencer Clayton appearing on behalf of Mr. Hoffman, P number 77302.
Mr. Hoffman, can you state your name, please, sir?
Kenneth Hoffman.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, today is the date and time set for pretrial. I did have the opportunity to speak with the prosecutor briefly. The defense is asking for more time for negotiations.
2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Tamara Motley.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Motley, who should be present via Zoom.
Yes.
And good morning, Your Honor. I was just retained for Miss Motley. My name is Eric Perney, P79467.
Okay, have you filed an appearance yet or no?
Not yet, Your Honor. I was just recently retained within an hour or so ago, but we will do a substitution and an appearance today.
Okay. And your name, ma'am?
My name is Tamara Motley.
Thank you. All right. So I'm presuming you want an adjournment and then.
Yes, Your Honor. We would respectfully request an adjournment so that the paperwork can get done.
That's correct, Your Honor.
June 26, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates, bond will continue with its conditions. Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Michael Cutshaw.
Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perney on behalf of Mr. Cutshaw. State your name for the record.
Cutshaw. Good morning. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, we're requesting an adjournment. Mr. Cutshaw and I just connected today for the first time, so we need some time to discuss this matter.
I'll adjourn it June 26, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Sorry, Mr. Cutshaw.
June 26th.
Okay. Do you have problems hearing or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so next time when you get here, let us know. We've got equipment that can help you out.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Calls the case, People versus Yashir Ferris.
Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Mr. Ferris.
All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, there has been an offer in this matter. I have discussed that with Mr. Ferris. We are respectfully requesting to set this matter for final settlement conference.
And you would not be ready by this Friday?
No, Your Honor.
Jury final settlement conference, August 9th, 2024, 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, August 12th, 2024, 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the People versus Zakiya Graham.
Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perney on behalf of Ms. Graham.
Yes, we have somebody labeled. Ms. Graham?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, do you have a camera?
Yep, hold on.
There you are. Okay. She's present.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate for Ms. Graham, who is present via Zoom. Please state your name for the record, ma'am, if you have not already.
Zakiya Graham.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are respectfully requesting a brief adjournment in this matter.
June 26, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. All right. Thank you, Ms. Graham.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case People versus.
On behalf of Miss Little's, filling in for attorney of record Ed Drugas with Miss Little's permission. Miss Little, would you please state your name for the record?
Dojanai Little.
Thank you. What are we doing? You're not muted if you're trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to push the button.
Oh, sure. If I may have just a brief moment, Your Honor. Probably need
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Spoke with Miss Little this morning, speaking with Mr. Drugas. So it's my understanding that Miss Little is going to be entering the Dawn Farm IJT program tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
And so we are asking for an adjournment. She also has other matters. She has a matter in front of, another matter in front of Your Honor. Strike that. She's got a matter in front of Judge Washington, in front of Judge Valva, as well as in front of Judge Slay. So we're asking for an adjournment of several weeks for it to allow her to complete the IJT program.
Okay, how long is that program?
I believe 3 to 4 weeks, I believe it's 3 to 4 weeks.
Let me do this because she's got the other matters. I'm gonna go to July 17th. Let's do that. Okay. I'll adjourn the matter July 17th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Right? You're welcome. Good luck. Court does call the case of the people versus William Bastable.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney William Rose on behalf of the people. Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Bastable, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
William Lucas Bastable.
All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. There has been an offer in this matter. Mr. Bastable is also being held on a felony case, which his pretrial for that is next week. At this time, I have discussed the offer with my client, but we are respectfully requesting a brief adjournment to possibly see if there could be a global resolution worked out.
Without objection, June 26, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. All right, we'll continue. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court does call the case, people versus Stephen Richmond.
Attorney William Rose on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. On behalf of Richmond, who appears via Zoom, number 77302.
Mr. Richmond, can you state your name, please?
Stephen Richmond.
Thank you. What are we doing?
Your Honor, today's date and time set for pretrial. I did have the opportunity to speak with the people on this matter. They did extend an offer. However, they do wish for an adjournment so they can get a restitution number, and I'm not objecting to that.
Your Honor, I do want to clarify the defendant would be asking for an adjournment to get for us to get restitution to avail himself of this offer.
In any event, they don't have restitution, Judge, so we need an adjournment. If the court would so grant.
But it's being charged to who? The defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Adjourn the matter June 26, 2024. 9 a.m. bound continues. Calls case people versus Zachary Burlap.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Mr. Township.
Was up here the other day. wasn't
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny. Mr. Burlett.
he? He's back.
Hey.
Hello, Mr. Burlap.
Morning.
State your name.
Zachary Thomas Burlett.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Siller has extended an offer for Mr. Burlett to admit responsibility to double parking, and he would like to accept that offer.
That is correct.
And dismiss count one.
That is correct.
Mr. Burlap, you have responsibility to the fact that on April 16, 2024, Clark Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Court will accept that admission. Fines and cost of $180, but you're in on other stuff right
Correct.
now, right? What I'll do is I'll just make this payable by December 31st, 2024. All right, just hey, somebody say Happy New Year. You haven't paid me. I'm coming to find you. All right. All right, Mr. Berlin. Take care.